What is going on, trka? Welcome back to the channel. I missed you guys. Let's talk about it. Just throwing this one out here for the evening. We're going to look at the technicals. We'll look at the ortex. We'll just carry on from there. We'll make a couple comments as far as filing that was done. I mean, it's several days old now, but something to keep in mind. And as always, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. It's just for your entertainment. So, a handful of people lost their mind whenever I went through the last filing, and I said it wasn't bearish and it wasn't bullish. What have we done? We've traded sideways. Good job. Was it bearish? No. Was it bullish? No. It was just a wash. It was a nothing point. It was a mute point. But what am I looking at, right? I'm ultimately watching the 4-hour trend. The 4-hour trend is what I am basing this entire trade off of in my position. That doesn't mean it has to be your trade. This is within reason. Can we lose a little bit of steam off of this trend line? Yes. In my tolerance, I can. In your tolerance, that's up to you to decide. But this is where my trade is coming from, is the 4-hour trend. And it's taking time. It's taking a whole lot of time. And we're just taking it one step at a time. So as of right now, is it trending? Yes, it's still trending, right? We're looking for those higher lows to continue to be set. We're watching our bounce points that we have on the RSI. As of right now, perfect come down, touch, and the bounce off of there. So far, so good. Nothing to be, too upset about. It's trending the way that we're watching it as far as how I'm trading it, and whether I stay in or I get out. Right now I'm still in because why? It has not lost the trend. So keep an eye on the trend, right? Draw up your trend lines, see how it's moving. You guys can do it. You should have it drawn up by now. Easy. You got several touch points, so just fire them in there and see what it does. I moved the 4-hour RSI up, right? And we're still in bearish territory, or bullish territory, sorry. We are moving just fine, 54.21 on the 4-hour, which is beautiful. 30-minute, how we looking? Coming down just a fuzz on the 30-minute, probably going to touch, hopefully, our 50, but we're still in the bullish territory. So everything there is doing what it should be doing. I'm not overly concerned about the movement. The other thing I wanted to mention was there's that new 8K out that they do have the possibility, right, to dilute. It says basically until the SEC confirms that they can or can't, they're not doing anything. Their hands are tied right now. But they go on to say that basically there can be no assurance. So there's no assurance that they are going to sell. There's no assurance that they are not going to sell. The good thing is it's a shelf offering, so it doesn't have to happen. It can happen over time. It can happen whenever they want it to happen. Jeffries is hopefully on our side. TRKA hopefully on our side. I believe they did something similar back with GameStop. I might be mistaken, but I'm not saying this is going to be a GameStop move by any means. Don't get that confused. I'm just saying if Jeffries is on our side and making smart choices, and TRKA is on retail's side and making smart choices, they're not going to foot the bill to retail and make us suffer for it. If Jeffries or TRKA is not on our side as of retail is going to suffer the consequences. So again, is it bearish? Is it bullish? It's one of those unknowns. The market does not like unknowns. I don't like unknowns, right? Is it going to happen? Is it not? When's it going to happen? When's it not going to happen? So it's one of those things that, again, create just a little bit of uncertainty, which leans a little bit more to the bearish side than the bullish side, which is probably why we have not seen this push, because a lot of money sits on the sideline and thinks, well, are they, aren't they? I don't know. The filing doesn't clarify whether they are or aren't. We're watching the trend. So watch the trend and take it one step at a time. That's about all that we can do and really see what happens. you guys are starting to hopefully notice patterns, right? Whether it's in a bear flag or a bull flag. You guys know which way they break now. Nothing goes straight up. It just takes time for these things to develop, and with some of the news that we're getting, that's still uncertainty. It's not helping either side of the thesis. So keep an eye on everything that we typically talk about: your important levels, your trend lines, and your RSIs, and just see how it continues to move. So far, so good. Okay, so let's keep that where it is. The Ortex, how's the Ortex looking? We've been waiting for it to hit the 100%, so it looks like, according to Ortex, it is at the 100%, which is fine. Cost to borrow, I believe this is going up. It's been several days since the last time I made this video, but I think it's going up 21.17%. On average, the cost to borrow. I'd like to see that continue to climb, since apparently we have 100% utilization. A little bit of an increase according to Ortex. Again, what's the float? I don't know. Series E's have been a concern or a uncertainty or a misconception from the start whenever we started talking about this, and then we had our filing. And what did it clarify? I don't know. People are still, I think, kind of guessing, trying to figure out what it all means. So is the float correct? Maybe not. Live short interest 10.28 million. The float's coming in, as far as Ortex is concerned, at 344.31 million. So we're working off of that number. Whether it's right, whether it's wrong, I don't know, but that's what the math is based off of. So take it for what it is. Take it with a grain of salt. Everything's looking good. Those AI stocks, GFAI, man, that thing is taking off. I hope that you guys were in that from the videos back in the day when we were talking about, is AI the future? I'm still waiting to see what PBTS wants to do, if and when. I don't know if we'll have any info as far as Ortex goes on that, but I'm waiting to see if this one can make its move. I think I said back in the day, if you don't want to have your money tied up forever, you're probably waiting, just having your alerts set around 12.5, 13 cents. We've just been floating here for quite some time. This is just an add-on because sometimes, people like other trades or like to look at other trades. It is Chinese, so keep that in mind. But the trend, again, is it reversing? Is it grinding its way back up? I hope so. A lot of times whenever we see this pattern kind of fill out, we can just watch it and see what happens. Are we going to flat bottom, or is it going to come down for another touch? It could. A lot of times these like to break in the way they came into the formation, so maybe we'll get a push to the upside there. No guarantees, tight stop losses if you're playing it. Don't full port into anything like this. Just, take your position where you will, and take your losses if the losses happen, or be in it and just see what happens. But it's not a diamond hand. It's just one of those AI plays that we talked about that has not seemed to make its move yet like the other three have. It kind of moves out of nowhere, up and down, so it's a trade. It's nothing gold as far as I know, but if it does make its move, I think it'll make its move very quick. That's PBTS. Draw up your trend lines, and let's see which way this thing actually wants to go and what it wants to do. Been in this one for quite a while, so full disclosure, I do have position in this one. It's not doing a whole lot, right? If they're trending, I don't care. It's whenever it's losing me money, that's whenever I get really annoyed and have to make my decision. But if it's trending and kind of holding somewhat of a base, or grinding slowly in my favor, okay. So let's see what that one does as well. Just a little bonus. I appreciate you guys coming back. I'm sorry I have been missing in action. slammed, and not much I can do about it right now. So I will catch you guys in the next one. As always, stay golden, people, and may your accounts stay green.